Imagine the most beautiful object you have ever seen. It fits your every need perfectly, and the best part is that you created it. I created my first object when I was 11. Wood was kind of like my Play-Doh growing up. I would spend hours and hours crafting things, but I would not create anything big since I needed tools. However, the thought of creating something big that had a use was always alluring to me. My parents were against the idea of an 11-year-old boy using tools, but this did not stop me from buying them with my own money. I wanted to make a good and sturdy knife which I could use to chop wood to build a chair. I used an angle grinder, a belt sander, and a file. I sketched, cut, and lastly shaped the handle and blade. When I finished the knife, I was very happy since it turned out quite well. However, when I finished that knife, I knew I was a maker. After a few creations, I was addicted. I could not stop making and developing new skills as I went. When I turned 12, I made a bird plane and a beer opener. And then a beer opener. When I turned 13, I started moving on to electronics, and I made this little Arduino LED game where the light went from one side to the other, and you needed to hit a precise point to score points. When I turned 14, I started moving on to more complex projects, such as a hydrogen generator, which turned water and electricity into hydrogen, which I think is the fuel of the future. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because this journey allowed me to understand, and I'm now convinced that we're all makers. Since the beginning of our evolution, humans have always wanted to make things. First, it was necessary things, such as arrowheads for hunting. But as humans got smarter, they started developing more and more things that they did not necessarily need, such as a pottery wheel. But humans have always and will always want to create, because the desire to improve and evolve is who we are. Humans have always wanted to manipulate nature to further themselves. As stated by German philosopher Heidegger, technology is the art of manipulating the world. But why can't you start manipulating the world right now? I personally began by taking advantage of a very large makers community. You might have heard of it before. Here, I was able to follow simple homemade projects, and the best part is that I too could learn from them. Not only YouTube taught me how to get started, but also which items were necessary and which were not. However, with the smallest amount of tools, you can still make something beautiful, such as this mallet, which I made with a saw and some sandpaper. The only ingredients you really need are passion and perseverance. Now, if you still believe me when I say that you can make anything, then you should also know that it's going to take you time. You will mess it up. You need to stay motivated enough to continue tinkering with your project. But trial and error is a crucial part of a maker's career. I personally am going to continue making. I recently purchased a 3D printer, and I'm having a blast with it. But the point is, there is much more to discover. Have faith in yourself. Some practice and time will get you set up to make anything. You don't need to go big. You can go little by little, and you will join the makers community. But make something and make a difference. Thank you.